This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I've worked from home for the past 5 years, and even as a very introverted type 9 on the Enneagram ISFP, right? ISFP, yeah. It hasn't always been easy for me. There are specific patterns of behavior that I can so easily fall into that keep me from being creative and productive, two characteristics that are just so imperative to my work. I know that being able to work from home is a privilege, and I definitely don't claim to have all the answers, especially during this just crazy time when so many of us are working from home for the first time while also homeschooling or taking care of family members. So yeah, I don't have all the answers, but I do have a few little things that have helped me over the years that will hopefully help you too. The first thing is I keep all my work stuff together. This is simple enough, right? I made a video about this a while back, and I'll link it in the cards for you because honestly, not too much has changed from that video, but it's really helped me so much. So the idea here is that I'm able to kind of create a mobile office of sorts, and I can find everything I need really quickly. I can get distracted easily. I'll definitely be the first to admit that. So having all the little things that I could possibly need within arm's reach really ensures that I'm not wasting my time wandering around the apartment, digging through drawers looking for my headphones or a cord or whatever, so that's been great. I don't have a dedicated workspace in the new place yet, so having everything I need in one tote bag is a great way for me to be able to really quickly and efficiently move from one room to another as I need to, and it's also a great signal for me at the end of the workday because I can just pack all my work stuff away and put it out of sight. Food prep is a huge one for me too, especially on really busy work days. So I love cooking, but it can be a real time suck in the middle of the day to make, just a meal from scratch or just to have no idea what I'm going to eat. So sure, some days it's a luxury to be able to cook in the middle of the day, but for the most part, when I'm cooking dinner the night before, I'll put a lunch together for both Nick and myself, and I'll even pack it in a little, container for myself, even though I'm going to be home, because it just helps me that much. This prep is so helpful for me because I'm able to eat quickly and then use the rest of my midday break to take a walk around the block or maybe just rest or something. It also ensures that I'm not using my work hours to clean up in the kitchen or, get distracted by other home projects. Speaking of taking a walk, taking the time throughout the day to move my body has become imperative for both my physical and mental health and my overall productivity in general. So this is one that took me a long time to really work into my daily routine, and I'm still not perfect about it, but it's honestly so important. When I used to work in retail, or even when I worked, in an office setting, I was constantly just up and walking around, and standing up and walking gave me energy, and most importantly, it gave me little pockets of the day away from my computer so that my eyes could rest. And so I really try to replicate that now, even working from home, because some days, if I'm not careful, living in this small space and working in this small space, I can get 300 to 400 steps a day only if I don't prioritize movement, and I get crabby when that happens. And nobody wins when I'm crabby, so I really try to work on this. So some really simple examples of movement for me are, like I said, taking a quick walk around the block, doing a 10 to 15 minute yoga flow, or even just stretching. The key for me is to just keep it so simple. I can build on it if I want to or feel like I have time, but it's not about fitness and gains or whatever the heck for me. It's so much more about mental health. So just doing a really small movement throughout the day, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, is really helpful for me. Recently, I've even been getting up a couple minutes early so that I could take my walk, before the heat of the day strikes. And it's been really nice, and I kind of see that as my daily commute now, because if I were working from an office or going to work wherever outside of my house, I would have that 10 to 15 minutes probably in the car. So now I prioritize prioritize that time for myself to get some movement in. Time management can be a really tricky one because there are so many things that I could be doing in my house that aren't my work, right? I've tried so many time management little hacks over the years, and the one and only thing that's really stuck with me over this time has been the pomodoro method. So basically I choose one task, only one, to work on, and I set a 25-minute timer to work on it, and then when it goes off, I set a 5-minute timer to stand up and walk around and relax or do whatever. So I do that 4 times, and then after the 4th sort of round, I take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. And this method has helped me so much over the years because it really helps my brain to break down these bigger, scary projects into more digestible chunks, if that makes sense. And it's also shown me how much more productive I am when I don't multitask. It took me so long to admit that I can be so much more productive just working on one singular thing, and I feel like I work faster and better. So yeah, I highly recommend that. The last thing that I do to really get a good work from home day in is logging out of social media or other distractions for the majority of my workday. So this isn't fun, and it's definitely tricky for me because I do so much of my work online, but even so, I have to set boundaries for myself. On Instagram, for instance, I can set time limits of how much time I want to be spending on the app. And that's really helped me. And I feel like I always feel better on days when I'm not just on Instagram for hours on end, because I'm spending my time being productive instead of spending my time comparing myself to others all day long. Obviously, you're gonna feel better when you're not doing that. Instead of being online during the day when I'm working from home, I'll do things like listen to audiobooks or podcasts, or even listen to classes on Skillshare. So Skillshare is kindly sponsoring this video, and it's been really wonderful to work with them over these past 3 months. So thank you so much, Skillshare. They're an online learning platform that offers thousands of classes on tons of different subjects like video editing, freelance, creative writing, productivity, and more. And it's been really cool for me to sort of go through the Skillshare platform and find classes that are taught by some of my very favorite creators. So the most recent one that I've watched was by Thomas Dyer. I think that's his last name. His class was called Storytelling Through Film. It was just a really short 19-minute class about how he edits just really compelling videos for the Yes Theory YouTube channel, and it inspired me to get creative with my edits again. So that's what I really love about Skillshare, is that I can take a class that's about something that I'm familiar with to sort of pump myself back up about it again, or I can learn something completely new. So the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description will get a 2-month free trial of the premium membership on Skillshare, so you can explore your creativity also. Before I started working from home, I had this really romanticized idea of what it would look like for me. I loved the idea of just having no schedule at all and being able to wear whatever I wanted and sleeping in all the time. But the reality is those daily habits weren't sort of helping me create the life that I wanted to live. So now I feel like I'm able to create structure in my days that's helped me grow and feel really accomplished. I know I didn't talk about every single work from home tip ever, so if you have anything that's really helped you along your journey, I would love if you would leave it in a comment below so that we can all learn from each other. And I just really hope that you all are doing well, and thank you so much for watching my video and supporting my channel.